in this section. So what I'll be talking about is the assignments, explain the assignment and what you need to know, and also take questions concerning the assignment too. All right, so let me start. Now, this is the first assignment. The title of the assignment is Introduction to GitHub. Now, why I chose this is because I really want everybody to understand the beginning of technical writing. Now, this will give you an idea of how to write a technical article, how to work with GitHub, how to work with terminals, then how to work with Markdown. So I try to put everything together in this one task. Now, your title should be, everybody's title should be Introduction to GitHub. Now, I gave a table of content. Introduction, what is GitHub, why GitHub, Git versus GitHub, clone, pull request, commit, GitHub desktop versus GitHub CLI, and conclusion. Now, this is what I want to see as a table of content. Don't add anything. Did I specify anywhere to add something? Should share. Okay, so I did specify. So which means don't add anything outside this table of content. This is what I want. Now, I want you to pay close attention because I have a reason why I added this attention to details. When you go to so many job descriptions, you always see attention to details. So, and from the first assignment, I didn't see attention to details there. Okay, so let me get back to what I was saying. Now, number one I'm having here is clone. And I said, show how to do cloning. So you explain clone, then you show how to do the cloning. You explain pull request, then you show how the pull request is being done. Same with the commit. So this is what I want to see. Now, going back to the article. Now, this article should have the following. I would like you to arrange the order of the content. If you think this order of the content is not fine, arrange it the way it should be. We had a class, information architecture, if you could remember. So if you don't understand, go back to that class. Watch the video, then come back. It will give you an idea of how to arrange this very well. If you think it's fine like this, it's okay. But if you think there is a need to change it more to make the journey of this table of content fine. Now, what do I mean by journey? Journey is you moving from one step to the other without having any interruption. And you're moving with more interest. More interest, I mean, the more you go, the more you want. That's what I mean. So after introduction, you now get what is GitHub, wow, what is GitHub? So you feel why GitHub should come next because that they've known that this is what GitHub is. Now the next thing should be why GitHub, then the next should be Git versus GitHub. So maybe they've known what is and why. Now maybe they need to know about Git versus GitHub, And if there is a need for you to explain Git, which you should explain Git in the versus GitHub, maybe after they've known that, maybe you think it's fine for them to know about clone, know about pull request, or maybe it's fine for them to know about pull request before clone, That is what I want, Put yourself in the shoes of the users. Add yourself in that journey. It's just like you're moving from point A. Okay, let me use our states. Now you're moving from Port Harcourt to Owerri, and you feel it's fine to move from Port Harcourt down to Eche, and Eche will link you to Imo State. Or you think maybe it's good to move from Port Harcourt to Aba, then Aba will now link you to Imo State, you now get to the Owerri. Which just check the journey you think is fine. That is where information architecture comes in. Try to make it easier for users to find your content, find information. Now, attention to details. Make sure whatever you feel should be added, make sure you add it. Don't feel lazy. Don't let that lazy spirit come in like, oh, this clone, I've explained clone. Is there a need for me to add this graphics? I'll just explain, and my brother, my sister, if you're having that thought, just know that you need to add that graphics. Don't let that spirit of don't add it. Add it because it's very important for your users to really understand it very well. Images, they say, explain much more than 1,000 words. You just have one illustration will explain even more than when somebody writes full book. An illustration can explain a full book to you. So it's very important. Now, the attention to details, make sure you add every piece of information you know that should be added. Add it there. And pay close attention to the tags. I said clone and added bracket. Show how to do cloning. So make sure you know that you should, after explaining cloning, you should show the steps on how to do it. Now, work on the information architecture, more like the first one. So now, not just the first one. Now, when you're writing, that should also help you that how will I arrange my words so it will be easier for users to find. Now, it should be over 500 words. Make sure it's over 500 words. No plagiarism. Make sure you, sorry, can you mute? Now, no plagiarism. Don't copy from anywhere. The best you can do is to study what somebody has done, understand it, and come and write it the way you understand it and the way you feel is most. Sorry, can you mute? I'm hearing noises, please. Now, that is for plagiarism. Don't just copy VAM and you paste. I would know. I would know for sure. They have so many tools I could use to check. Now, proper citation, which is from what I saw in the first assignment. You pick an image from somebody, it's fine. You don't need to create your own image if you don't have that skill or that time. But make sure you cite that person. Somebody took his time, his or her time to create something, to write something, and you just go and boom, copy and paste and move on. Try to cite that person. Try to make sure you reference the person. So whoever is reading your content will know that this thing came from this person. Let's say, for instance, you collected a definition from Webmaster Dictionary or Oxford Dictionary. Now, what you have to do is, there are ways you have to learn how to cite. Let's say, for instance, you say, according to Oxford Dictionary, comma, you drop the definition. So whoever is reading it to know that this is not your definition, is coming from Oxford, which means you say according to what they said, according to Wikipedia, according to Mr. Wisdom, according to Mr. Buhari, you're moving Nigeria forward or we're taking Nigeria backward. That is not what you said. That is what he or she or they said. Now, no grammatical or spelling error. Now, you need to learn how to work with some tools like Grammarly. So we're still getting to that section, but you need to know how to work with tools like Grammarly to help you spell check what you're writing. So you don't imagine I'm your reviewer, I'm your editor, and you're sending me with so much grammatical error. You're giving me too much stress, and I will not be happy with you. So use tools like Grammarly. They have other tools like QuickBooks that are free. Grammarly has a free plan. Use Grammarly to check your work. It will help you. No repetitive words. Don't try to be repeating something and something and something. Try to explain something you have done and don't just, how am I going to put it, like GitHub is a tool that does this. You go back somewhere, GitHub is a tool that does this. Also, you go back to the other side, GitHub is a tool that, just stop repeating. It will make it very boring. Now, you must have necessary images. Where you think images should be, add them. Very important. Must be done with Markdown. So I don't want plain text. Do a Markdown, put it on GitHub, send the repo link to me, and leave the rest. I will review with that. Now, use a Google style guide, just like the class we had yesterday. So I had to add this, very important. So if you're checking about your capitalization, checking how to add your time and how to add, so many formats can be gotten from the Google Style Guide. So you use the Google Style Guide to guide you in the style of writing. That is Style Guide. It's guiding you in a particular style. And the reason for the Style Guide is, how am I going to put it? Consistency. When they read each of your documents, each of your blog posts, each of your technical content, they have one pattern. Makes it very easy for somebody to flow with. Everybody in the company has that same style. That's the reason why in football team, you see they have the whole 11 players have same jersey color, same jersey style and everything. So that is when you see Man U, you know this is Man U. When you see Arsenal, you know this is Arsenal. That is, bring that to writing, having that same style. Now, use VS Code. Probably any other, you can use any other text editor. So let me add it. Now, any text editor of your choice, but it is recommended to use VS Code. Then last is share the repo used for the assignment. Then here is, we worked with GitHub. So you go on Twitter, you go on LinkedIn, you tag GitHub and drop a message that this is the task we worked on a program you're on, which is the Technical Writing Mentorship Program organized by myself. You drop the link of your assignment. So people can track that this is what you're doing and this is what you have submitted. Now you don't know who is watching you probably. So you might be in the program and you might even get a job. So that's the reason for that. Then the deadline is 9th of October. So that's all. Any question? How can we use Grammarly? Okay, now you will have to download Grammarly. Register an account with Grammarly, which I already have. So you have to go to Grammarly. The address is grammarly.com. If you don't have an account with them, you register an account with them. They have a free plan. They have their premium plan. So I'm on their premium plan, and they also have other plans. So now, how to use Grammarly? There are several ways. Let's say you open the Grammarly app. Sorry, let me send the link in the chat. All right, so this is the link. Check the link in the chat. Now you click new to create a new file. Now this is all they have here. This will help assist you. And when you want to check for plagiarism, this is what I do. I'll copy and paste what you have done here and check for plagiarism. So here you can start writing. So let's say you want to start with, what is GitHub? Okay. Now, first thing first, to correct you, correct for your spelling. This is how GitHub is being spelled. Git, and you have your capital H. So that is the style. Probably you might want to change it that it should be like this, but GitHub have their own style. I need to obey their style. So it should be like this. And the reason they are having this big G in most of the companies, they call it proper now. I guess the first, that's the English teacher or the English lecturer, sorry, she talked about that. So proper nouns, your name should be capitalized, your first letter should be capitalized, company name, organization name, and probably so many other important things, names should be capitalized, the first. So you can start by writing GitHub is a tool that is used for doing a lot of things, and watch, it will start correcting you right from here and giving you suggestions. You can accept if you don't want. Now, this is to correct the spelling. It's telling you is. You can correct, and this is telling you should be used or guided. Which of them? So I guess it should be used. And it's used. It's not telling you it's passive voice that should make it to be an active voice. But the funny thing is, Grammarly does not give suggestions for the active voice. So it just says this is passive voice. Now it's not left for you to know how to turn around to active voice. And this is a lot. So a lot should not be together. A lot should be have the A and add a space. So this is how Grammarly works. So when you start writing, it will be giving you suggestions, correcting if there are errors, areas for punctuation. It will give you reasons to add that and remove that. So this is Grammarly. This is how it works. So this is the premium plan, but they have the free plan can work. So if you have the money to pay for the premium plan, you pay. If you don't have the money to pay for premium plan, you can pay for the free plan. Now they have other tools like let me send the link also. Quillbot. Now the Quillbots here, they would also assist. They help in a lot of things. Majorly, I use them for paraphrasing. Most times, probably you copied something from somewhere and you understand it, but you want them to paraphrase it, so you just get something out of that. Okay, now let me copy this. Sorry, are you guys following me? Let me know if I'm speaking to myself. Hello?
Yeah, please don't react together.
Okay, all right, awesome, thank you. Now, the Quillbot is used for paraphrasing. So you copy this, you go to, you go to the Quillbot, you paste it. Now you click paraphrase. GitHub is a tool that is used for doing a lot of things. That's changed it to GitHub is a tool that may be used for a variety of things. Now, one good thing about it is now you see these orange areas, those are the areas that you can make changes to. So you bring it closer, you click, it will tell you if you want to rephrase it the more, maybe that may be used, that can be used, that can be utilized, that can be employed. You check which one is fine. Or you come here, varieties, wide range of tags, varieties of purposes, wide range of, so, this is what it does to you. It's fine. Now, I guess they also have, okay, they have grammar check, they have plagiarism check, co-writer, summarizer, citation generator. Awesome. So I use these two tools a lot. Now you can use them. And there are several other tools too that could help you to improve in your writing. So let's check. Okay, let's check the summarizer. I've not used this before. Please enter enough text. Okay, so which means this is too small. So enter enough text to summarize. Okay, co-writer. Okay, is an tool that lets you paraphrase, check grammar. Okay, so which means when you're writing here, it will help you do that. So the co-writer features to complete content suggestions and all that. So, and I click on your word count to get important statistics, tutorials, access. Okay, now this is fine. This co-writer is just like the Grammarly page. So this is it. You're writing here, it will be giving you suggestions and trying to improve your writing and more. So you can paraphrase here, you can summarize here, you can suggest text. So let's see what it's doing for us. For example, it is good hosting service used for sharing code. It can be used to do a lot. Okay, so it can be used to do a lot. For example, wow. Okay, do a lot, remove. I thought I clicked the remove. So GitHub is a tool that is used for a lot of things. Okay, doing a lot of things. You see how it has helped us. Now, for example, it is a code hosting service used for sharing code, source code. Awesome. So, okay, any other question again? My challenge is how to use Markdown on my phone. Okay, this is a huge. Okay, let's make research about that. Markdown on phone. 7 best editors for Markdown on phone. Okay. So I've sent you a link for Markdown on phone. So this is a tool for the Markdown on phone. So when you're done, you download the app and it helps you to do your Markdown on phone. Then in your app also, you have your GitHub app. So let me search for the GitHub app for you. You download your GitHub app so you can push from there. And God will bless you to buy a laptop. So you use your laptop for that. Okay, so the second link I sent is for GitHub mobile app. So, okay, sorry, is it iPhone? If I'm sending Android, which other question am I missing out here? What is your research process? Okay, a research process is first thing I do is if I understand what I want to work on. One is if I have the uh, the experts that I'm supposed to write their tool about. Let's say I work in a company. Does that mean that okay? So what? Let's say I work in a company that builds an Android app developer. So and I want to start. I will start with them, asking questions, getting more information from the experts that built the app. Then I will start start with Googling about the tool and all that. So that will really help. Does that mean that I can use my phone for the assignment? Yes, you can. Downloading VS Code for GitHub to yes. Downloading VS Code. Does VS Code have mobile? Okay, they don't have VS Code for mobile, but they have hmm, but they have other tools you can use to do that. So this looks like the best for me. Okay, so this Markdown is the marker. I guess is used for that. Create notes, manage your to-do list in simple markup formats, work completely offline. Okay, edit with this. So it's fine. So I guess you use the markup for that. Save it, then use your GitHub repo app and push on GitHub. So this link should work for Android. So what can we then use as the editor? Is a markup, the Android markup language app. So you mentioned citing and referencing most and all our sources, both text and images. It's okay to just embed links to the source in the images or text. Now, there are rules. Now, I know in my first class, I talked about ethics in writing. So there are rules of citing what people have done. Like in the image, you drop in the caption section, you drop the link of that image, where you got the image from. That's it. Then for the text, there are several ways of citing, so you can go online and check. So one of the ways of citing is using it in this way, like according to whoever you collected information, copied information from. So I don't want to use the word copy, so it doesn't sound harsh. So whoever you collected information from or the content from, you say according to, let's say you collected information from Oxford Dictionary, say according to Oxford Dictionary, comma, you just paste the definition there. So whoever sees it will know that that is coming from. You don't need to add the link. But if you want to add the link also to that, it's fine. Now you added the definition and you just add the link. Let's say you're defining GitHub. GitHub is the GitHub word there. You add the link of where you copied it from. So that's also a way too. But to make it more clearer, to me, I prefer according to so person. Fine. That is if you're starting a paragraph, but if it's in between the text, you can add an image. And there are ways to cite it too, but because this is just a mere article, it's not like a book that you can probably cite at the back of the book. So you can just add the link. But I would also advise you probably go make more research on that. Okay, so what can we do then, users? I said use the Android app. This is the first one. The marker. If you can see my screen, use this. this is working as an editor for you. When you're done, you will save. When you save it, use your GitHub app to push it to GitHub. That's all. So you use this as your editor in your Android phone if you don't have a laptop. But that's for Android. So I know how to cite text, but how do I cite images? Add the link. So in the image, you should have a section for caption. You add the link of the image there. So somebody will probably see and they can click the link and go and see where you collected the image from. Do we need reference list after? No need for reference list. No, I don't think there's need for reference list.
Sorry, I asked about if we could use how we could use the Grammarly with Markdown. Is it possible? I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Because
So,
Markdown is different.
okay, yeah. Okay, so you cannot use Markdown and Grammarly. So you only use Grammarly when you're writing. So it will help you spell check, help you check your grammatical errors, punctuation marks, and all that. Bring suggestions. And when you use the pre-boots, also the same thing. Now, when you're done and you feel you're okay with what you have, you copy and paste it on your VS Code or any text editor of your choice. Then you start applying your Markdown format there. So not in this. Okay, now let me just give an example. Let's try something now. This is Grammarly. So let's say I want this to be bold. This is how it is. It's not going to be more than that. So let's say I said why GitHub, and this should be this. It's not going to change. But if I take that to GitHub, it will change. And one thing again, I'm going to check in the Markdown. I don't know if the tutor that explained much about that is format of using the Markdown commands. Now, she explained about the heading 1 and heading 2. Heading 1 is for topic. That's the very, very first title, first topic. But you don't use that again within. You only use H2. That is smaller than the topic or the title, the first title or the first topic. Now, what I mean is, this is intro. Okay, I want him to correct me. Introduction to GitHub. Now it will correct me through introduction. If you don't want introduction to be marked as misspelled, so there are words you would spell and it will, it's correct. You just delete and it will not mark it as misspelled. And one thing you should know is Grammarly is using the American English. So there are words that you would spell that's British in British English is correct, but because Grammarly is an American company, it will mark it that no, that is not how it should be done. So now, this is why GitHub. Now, let's say this is a subtopic. The why GitHub is a subtopic, and this is also a subtopic. So you will use this. Now, if you're trying to also explain maybe something in the why GitHub, let's say GitHub major reasons or something, Now, because it's within here, so you don't have to use that same tool. You have to use 3 of it. So hope you understand what I explained. So, all right, awesome. Okay, there is a format for citation I learned while in school. I was wondering if it could be used, like a statement is made, then the author of that statement, his or her name is put in a bracket just after the sentence. Can that method of citation be used? Yes, it can. It's writing style. I don't think it has changed a whole lot in that citation aspect, because they have so many citation rules that are gotten from some style guides, like the upper style. Is it something Maria Maka style? Something Mary something style. Those are the styles that were used back then. But right now, most of those styles they've not really updated and improved a lot of them. So people are now using a much updated style guide like the Google style guide. MLA, yeah, I'm calling Media Marker, sorry. So now you can also use that, add the person's name there so they'll know. Now, for me, adding the person's name is fine, but because now what you should notice, you're adding the person's name there. That is majorly done in books because at the back of it, you also add that person's name with the link of where you got it from. So for me, I would prefer instead of adding the person's name, you just add the link to where you got it from. So they'll just go there and see that, okay, this is exactly what you have here is what you have here. So which means you got it from this link. So it's preferable than adding a person's name, except you're writing an ebook, which you are aware that at the end you will have a reference list where you list the reference of probably everywhere you got your information from. That is where you will probably now add that person's name. All right. Sorry, I've taken so much of the time, and this is Saturday night. Sorry, guys. Okay. So I guess that's all. And I will upload this video tomorrow. I'm already tired. So any other question before we call it a night? Abi? Any questions, guys, concerning the assignment or concerning what we talked about today? Yeah, thank you, Chukwunaso. Any any questions, guys? Just respond, Nasa. I'll be aware. Can we reach out to you? My WhatsApp number is open. You can reach out to me. Okay, how to do a pull request. How to do a pull request. Do you have that time right now? For me, I don't have that much time. Okay, so what will happen is, in case we get lost in the assignment, that the reason is if I sent a mail and in the mail I said if you have any question, reach out to me. Okay, so what will happen is for those that don't really understand much about the GitHub pull requests and cloning. I guess the GitHub tutor, I guess he explained that too. So, but to help most of us, because I don't want this to make it look like a do or die affair. I want it to be easy, but I want everybody to do the assignments themselves. I want you to do that pull request yourself. I want you to do that cloning yourself because when you're going for a job interview, I'm not going there with you. Nobody's going there with you. You're going there yourself. And you're only saying things you do yourself. So you cannot explain, most that there are people that feel it's all about reading. I will read about how pull request is done. You can't explain it compared to somebody that have done the pull request by him or herself. Do the pull request yourself using different methods. You can't explain it the way that person explain it. So to help everybody, because my goal is for everybody to do the technical part. I know most of us are not too technical. But because you have that writing skill and you want to attach the technical part to your writing, it's very important for you to know that. So maybe on Monday, I'll check my schedule. On Sunday, I will drop a message if I will have time on Monday. So to just have like a 1 hour or less, 30 minutes class to explain GitHub majorly, like the basics of GitHub, how to do a pull request. At least we can do a pull request, we can clone. So you see how it's being done. Then that's all. So if I have that time, then I would send a message across. But if I don't have that time, I will also let everybody know. So any question? And thank you guys for joining. Thank you so much.